Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started. This is our Fall 2017 Pre-Acceptance webinar with myself, Marcia Crippen. I'm an Education Abroad Advisor here at the Office of International Education.
And I'm Lucas Vasconcelos. I'm the Education Abroad Graduate Assistant at the Office of International Education, and I'm a former exchange student at UGA. So for today's presentation, this is the agenda for the webinar. We're going over the Go Abroad portal and resources that can be useful for you during the application. We're going to pause for Q&A, and then we will discuss important application materials, and then we have a second Q&A, and we will explain a little bit about submitting course requests, the timeline, and upcoming steps after you're accepted, and then a last Q&A session. So what you can see on the screen on the right is the screenshot of what our portal looks like. That's the Go Abroad portal, and you can use the portal to look up your application, submit your documents, and basically everything during the application process. The link is goabroad.uga.edu. Inside the black box is the incoming exchange students link. We have resources in that link if you click on it. And you're going to see this list of resources. We have handbooks, instructional videos, and webinars, and all of them have very important information for you as an exchange student for the pre-arrival, post-arrival, and for your application as well. So we recommend that you please review those resources if you have any questions, but we are also available to answer them if your questions are not answered in the videos or handbooks. This is a screenshot of the program brochure. It contains very important information. It's concise, but it's also important, and it has information about the UGA campus and this town of Athens. It contains the exchange program information sheet, the information about course requests, suggested courses for English as a foreign language learners, the program costs, on-campus housing options, the meal plan, and the Disability Resource Center if needed. So we encourage you to review the program brochure before you start an application in Go Abroad.
So once you begin your application in Go Abroad, you will see many items that include questionnaires, signature documents, and materials. The questionnaires are just important things for you to answer so that we can gain information about you. We also want to know whether or not you are planning to live on campus, which we'll speak about later. So that's section 3. And then we just want to confirm your home institution and contact information for your home coordinator. You'll see also some signature documents. These are just items that you need to carefully read and then digitally sign that you understand those items and that you are aware of the requirements of the application. So that includes authorizing our office to release your transcript once you finish your program, also making you aware of the immigration requirements and how to request your DS 2019, which will be for your J1 student visa, and that will occur after you are accepted as a student to the University of Georgia. Also making you aware of mandatory health insurance enrollment, information about how to submit your course requests, which is a material for you to do, and then also how to submit your health immunization form, which we will talk about later. And these items are what are on the undergraduate exchange application, and many of them are similar to the graduate application, which I'll point out on the next slide. But these are the materials as well that you will need to complete. Most of these you will upload, except for the complete course request. You will submit a form that has you input your course request information, and again we'll discuss that in a little bit. But you do need to upload just a Word document or a copy of your academic subjects that you're currently taking at your university, also a official home university transcript, also a passport scan. Make sure that it's clear so that we can read your name and see your photo. And then your English score, either your TOEFL or your IELTS score. We want to make sure that that is complete. If you attend a university that all your courses are conducted in English, even though English is not your first language, you can also submit a letter from your coordinator indicating that. So please ask us if you have more questions about that in substitution of that English score. And finally, you do need to apply to undergraduate admissions. So once you complete that separate application, you will upload a screenshot of that completed application so that we can confirm that you've applied. And you'll see on the right-hand side, we've shown the image of the attached document section where you will be able to upload all of these items. If you are a graduate exchange student, some of your items will be a little bit different. One of the differences is going to be on your signature documents. The English language proficiency requirement is just slightly different for graduate students, so make sure to review that. Also, your course request and registration will be slightly different as well, so that's one of the main differences for the graduate exchange application. And then for your materials as a graduate student, you do need to upload a certificate of finances, which is required by the graduate school, in addition to applying to the graduate school. So you will need to apply there and also upload a screenshot. And then graduate students do need to have official home university transcripts that are mailed to the graduate school, but that can be done after you are accepted to the graduate school. So just be aware of that as well. So now we're going to pause for a brief question and answer session. So if you have questions, please type it into the text box and we'll do our best to answer your questions regarding the items that we just spoke about. Okay, so our question is regarding insurance, whether you can only get it at the University of Georgia or if you can get it in your home country. So there are two options for international student insurance. One is enrolling in a study abroad insurance in your home country that is required by your home university to cover your stay in the United States. So if you do have that option, you must submit an insurance waiver upon your arrival in Georgia. And if your waiver is accepted, then you do not need to pay the University of Georgia insurance. And then the second option is just to enroll in the mandatory University of Georgia International Student Insurance. So if you have the option at your home university to enroll in your study abroad insurance while you are in the United States to help cover your health costs, then I suggest that you do that, but please be aware that you need to make sure that your plan is equal to or greater than the required University of Georgia plan. So you should be able to find information about that within the signature document, but if you have questions, you can email us and we can provide you with the information about the waiver and the equivalent requirements for the insurance. You should start your undergraduate admissions application as soon as possible. You do not have to have finished the exchange application in order to submit your undergraduate admissions application. However, we do need to have your official transcript and your English score available in the exchange application in order to send that to undergraduate admissions so that you could be accepted by admissions. So you can complete your undergraduate admissions application immediately, and then once we have your exchange application complete, that's when we will recommend you to admissions so that you can be accepted and start to receive your student ID, your student email address, and then you can start doing other items like registering for housing and the meal plan.
So you are going to be assigned a UGA ID number once you are officially accepted by the University of Georgia. For now, any documents that may have a space for an ID number, you can leave it blank, and it will be filled out in the future.
If your first language is English and you go to an English-speaking university, you do not need to have your sponsor sign a letter, but if for some reason we do need it, we will contact you directly in order to get that letter. For the graduate program, I do not believe you need a letter of recommendation, but you can email us to confirm after the webinar.
The letter of recommendation is usually required for degree-seeking students, and because both exchange and degree-seeking students fill out the same application, you may see that requirement up there, but that doesn't mean that you will have to submit the letter of recommendation.
All right, we're going to move on, and you'll have 2 more opportunities to ask questions. I'll answer this quick TOEFL question. If your score is online, you should be able to have a digital copy of your online score that you can upload. We do not need the paper copy. So if you have a digital PDF of your score, then that's fine. We can use that.
All right, now talking a little bit about TOEFL or IELTS. So these are the only 2 English proficiency tests that the University of Georgia recognizes as valid, and they cannot be older than 2 years old. So we had other students try to submit Cambridge proficiency scores, but unfortunately we cannot accept it. You need to submit a scanned copy of the official test report as in the sample on the right, and you can upload it as a material to the Go Abroad portal. We recommend that you take the test as soon as possible because it does take a couple of weeks for the report scores to be released or available to you, and then the longer you have to wait, the longer it delays your acceptance process at UGA. The minimum scores for undergraduate students are 80 for the internet-based TOEFL and 6.5 the overall band for IELTS scores. And if you didn't get to that score but you got close, you can contact us and we will discuss the possibility of seeing if your English proficiency is enough. And for graduate applicants, the graduate school requires them to make a request with ETS to submit the TOEFL through the ETS. The students are not allowed to submit the TOEFL scores themselves. And you can use the code 5813 for the University of Georgia. As for your home university transcripts, we usually request an official scanned copy in English. We don't accept unofficial copies printed from your student system online. If your university does not issue documents in English, we will need you to submit the official in your native language and a translated copy translated by an official translator. Both copies should be uploaded as a material to the Go Abroad application. If your transcript does not contain the subjects that you are taking at the moment, you can also create a list. It doesn't have to be official. You can create a list on Word with a table, or take a screenshot of your list of classes, and you can upload that as a current in-progress subject to Go Abroad. Make sure that you include course titles.
So next, I'm going to discuss the health immunization forms as well as the tuberculosis screening forms. So these health forms are required by the University of Georgia for all students, including both international students and U.S. students. In order for you to register for classes, you must have this form complete and submitted to the health center, which Lucas and I will do on your behalf, and they must be approved. So it's very important for you to start your health immunization forms now. Make sure to make an appointment with your doctor as soon as possible so that you can have this form completed by your doctor, and if needed, you can get any doses of immunizations now. So you can see on the top, you have your first doses of MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella. It is required that all students receive this. You have to have your first dose at least 12 months after you were born. So you must be at least 1 year old when you receive your first dose of immunization of the MMR. Your second dose must be given at least 30 days after your first dose. So if you go to the doctor today and they give you your first dose, you must wait 30 days until the second dose. So that's why it's important to get it done now, because you don't want to have a delay with your second dose of immunization. The second requirement is the varicella or chicken pox. You must either have proof of the 2 doses of the varicella or have proof of a antibody titer test that your doctor can do, or your doctor can certify that you have had the chicken pox when you were younger, but we do have to have a document from your doctor that indicates that history. Next, you will see the other required tetanus or Tdap, so that is also a requirement for you to do, and then the hepatitis B, as well as the meningitis. So just make sure to review these documents with your doctor and have them complete it with you. Next, the TB screening questionnaire. It's important to answer all 6 of these questions and sign and date this form. If you circle one of the countries that you were born in, then you do have to go to your doctor to have the next forms complete, which includes a test for tuberculosis. So please make sure to complete this form as well and upload both forms to your exchange application. So does anybody have any questions about the health immunization form or your transcript? All right, we're going to move on, but there will be one other opportunity to ask questions. So now I'm going to discuss your course requests, which is a requirement within your exchange application. We ask you to submit your course request now because it does take our office at least 4 to 5 weeks to process the hundreds of course requests that we receive from you all, and to discuss those course requests with the various departments and colleges on campus in order to get you permission to register for those courses. So it's very important that you complete this as soon as possible. So when you go to our course requests form, you have the option to create an account, which will allow you to save your submission and go back later to adjust it if you wish. So we usually recommend that you do to create an account when submitting your course requests. You can explore the current schedule of classes for fall 2017 on the registrar's website. And also explore the bulletin, which is where the course descriptions and syllabi for the courses are held, and I'll show you those in a moment. It's important to fill out both your preferred and alternate subjects that you would like to enroll in. So preferred are your top 4 subjects that you would like, and then alternate would be if you can't take 1 or 2 of those subjects, what are the other courses that you would like to take instead. On your course request form, we want all the information needed to know the course subject, which is a 4-letter indication, the course number, the CRN, which is a unique 5-digit number that each course has, the course title, the number of credit hours, prerequisites, also if you have taken those prerequisites at your home university, we want to know what those are, and then you can also include any additional comments about taking that course. So you'll see on the left-hand side is once you go to the registrar's website, you can find the schedule of classes for fall 2017. And then on the right side, this is what it's going to look like when you're viewing the long 400-page list of classes. So you'll see, for example, here at the top, AAEC stands for Applied Economics. So that AAEC is the course code or course title. And then you'll see the days on there, so you can try to figure out, what the best time is for you to take classes. And then you'll see the CRN on the left-hand side, and some other information such as the location. So for now, you don't really have to be picking the time of classes, but request your courses so that you can have flexibility once you arrive on campus and start to participate in your classes. So the UGA Bulletin, like I said, is where you can look up the descriptions of the classes based off of the prefix and the number, and also view the syllabus. So you'll see on the right-hand side, the prefix for finance is FINA, the number 4000 for financial institutions and markets. You'll see the brief course description, and then you'll also see the prerequisites, which are Finance 3000. So it's important to then look up Finance 3000 and see if that's a course that you've taken at your home university. And then down at the bottom, you'll also see the syllabus available for that class if you need to submit that to your home university. This is the course request form that you'll need to submit your requests to. So like I said, you'll need to put in the subject, that 4-letter abbreviation, the number, CRN, title, credits, whether the course has prerequisites, and what classes you have taken that fulfill those prerequisite requirements, and then also do that for your alternate subjects.
Now, about UGA housing, we have on-campus and off-campus housing options depending on where you want to live. As for on-campus housing, students are usually assigned to a 4-bedroom suite in an apartment at the East Campus Village with 3 other students, 2 Americans and 1 international student. There is an application fee of $35 that students need to pay. The ECV housing cost per semester per person is $34.19, and it is charged to your student account, so you don't have to pay right away when you apply for housing. After arrival to UGA, we are going over how you can pay your student account during orientation, and you're going to have everything charged to that specific account. All rent rent includes all the utilities, including cable and internet, so you don't have to worry about paying extra bills. And at the bottom, you can see the link to register. Now, we also have off-campus housing, and we recommend these especially for academic year students if they want to have a more independent lifestyle. There are many different apartment complexes in town, and they offer the options of furnished apartments with varying prices and amenities. Most of those apartments are served by the Athens Transit, which means that bus run regularly to condoms on weekdays and sometimes on weekends. And the Athens Transit buses are free of cost for UGA students. You just have to swipe your UGA ID. It may be cheaper if you choose to live off campus, depending on where you go. A lot of students may choose to stay around the downtown area because it's walking distance to UGA, and that those prices may vary a lot and may be a little bit more expensive, but you can explore the apartment options. They also have roommate matching options, which means they pair you up with different students who have similar lifestyles and habits. For example, if you're a non-smoker, pet-friendly, and etc. And as I said, there are many options in the downtown area if you want to walk to your classes and stay close to campus.
We will provide all students with more information about how to find off-campus housing options. We'll email you within the next week or so. So if you are interested in exploring the off-campus housing options, we will give you a suggested list to begin your search. It's important if you are considering off-campus housing to start your search as soon as possible so that you can get the best apartment for the best cost. The longer you wait, closer to the semester beginning, there will be less apartments available.
And in the near future, you're going to be asked to apply for on-campus housing at the East Campus Village if you choose to stay on campus. Register for the International Student Orientation, which is the week-long orientation for all incoming degree-seeking and exchange international students. You're going to sign up for your UGA meal plan, and you can also do it upon arrival on campus. You don't have to do it right now if you don't want to, but we usually recommend in case you want to have your meal right away after you arrive on campus at the dining halls. And you're going to submit your DS 2019 request for your J1 visa. Just one observation, you need to be able to complete these steps after you're officially accepted to UGA.
So you will not be required to register for housing or your meal plan, and you will not be able to request your DS 2019 until you are accepted to UGA. So just a little bit about International Student Orientation. So here at the University of Georgia, we have a wonderful office called International Student Life, and they administer the International Student Orientation every year. This orientation option is not required. It is an optional activity that you can do a week prior to arrival. We just want you to be aware of this option because it is a very beneficial orientation week. All students that go through this orientation are extremely happy that they have done so. So it will be from July 31st to August 4th. The early registration cost is $425, which includes the housing during orientation for 5 days. It also includes your meals as well and all the various fun activities of the orientation. You can contact International Student Life at isl@uga.edu. But the orientation topics will include campus tours to help you find your classes and get comfortable around UGA's campus. They'll discuss academics at UGA, so how studying habits might differ, how testing things might differ. Also cultural adjustment, so helping you adjust to life in the United States. And then just general campus life activities that will help you be more aware of everything that UGA has to offer. So finally, we have our timeline. Our timeline for the next few months. So our application and course requests, we would like due March 15th, so please have your complete application complete. Your health immunization forms should be submitted by March 30th so that your course registration will begin as soon as it can at the end of April. And then your arrival date, if attending International Student Orientation, is July 30th, which the orientation is the 1st through the 4th. And then your arrival date, if not attending International Student Orientation, is August 7th or 8th. The mandatory OIE orientation is August 9th. And finally, your fall 17 classes will begin August 14th. So now we'll pause briefly for question and answer, and if you have additional questions that we can't answer right now because we do have to complete our webinar soon, then you can email us. You cannot take a subject and the prerequisite for that subject at the same time, so please be aware that you can only enroll in courses that you have experience in. You cannot enroll in the prerequisite and that course that requires that prerequisite at the same time. If you request 4 courses, they are not the only courses that you can take. You can always resubmit your course requests and submit additional requests after your first form is complete. So do not worry about only being restricted to those 4 courses. Your materials and your application should be in by March 15th. That includes your transcript, your TOEFL, your in-progress subjects, and your course requests, just so that we can submit your documents to undergraduate admissions so that you can be accepted. The final question is about choosing your international roommate. We can make a recommendation to UGA Housing to have a roommate of your choice, but you need to notify us as soon as possible so that we can make housing aware. However, it is not guaranteed for you to have the roommate of your choice. Unfortunately, we have to end our webinar now, but please email us at exchange@uga.edu with further questions. We'll be happy to answer them, and we hope to speak with you soon. We're very excited for your arrival at the University of Georgia in July or August. Thank you.